What's going on? It's your boy Sheev the Wise. Welcome back to Vader's Lair. We have a lot of Star Wars content to dig into today, a lot of little news and tidbits to inform you guys on. Starting with the Andor show. Finally, it's been quite some while since we had any kind of news for Andor. It seems like that show's been kept pretty under wraps, but let's dive into the latest little Empire article that came out recently, talking all about some of the Andor show. Let's get it going. Welcome back to Vader's Lair. I hope you guys are having a great week so far. Happy Tuesday to you guys, and I hope you had a fantastic 4th of July yesterday for those of you guys in America here. Much love, everybody. Hope you're having a good night. But let's dive straight into this Andor article. I think I can pull it up here so that you guys can get a nice look at it as I go through it a bit, because it's going to take us a sec to get through this article here. But it's pretty good, man. I'm actually super excited for the Andor show. Like I said, it's been kept pretty up under wraps so far, so there hasn't really been too much coming out of Andor in terms of spoilers or potential cameos or different things that could maybe ruin the show for some people. So to me, that's actually a really good thing. The whole Obi-Wan show was kind of leaked by one person. Jason Ward did a great job covering that. But a lot of times in shows, little tidbits will come out, and there was even a little tidbit, I guess you could say, from Andor that actually kind of leaked out there last night a little bit, and I won't get in too much into it, I think, maybe if we have time, but I don't really want to get too into spoilers. But it's also something that's like open-ended. We don't really know for sure if it is in the spoiler territory, if it's just, somebody kind of making something up. Good to see everybody in the chat, though. Tim, my guy Smalls, Rerum Trading, Just Fernie, Don Clotterman, of course. Always good to see you guys. Much love to everybody in the chat. OG, you as well, if I didn't say that. Let's see if I can do this. Window capture. Good. It's nice to be back and streaming with you guys. I know it's been a little bit, and thank you all for bearing with me and kind of just supporting me lately, because it's been a real rough go for many people, I'm sure, lately. It's rough times these days, but much love, because our community is really so amazing. So many people have reached out to me and tried to help, tried to just listen and help, and I love you guys, man. I can't say enough. Let's get in this article, though. From the Empire article, Andor. Tony Gilroy, the showrunner, explains Star Wars Rogue One prequel series. Epic 5-year structure, along with exclusive images. Now, I'm going to move this real quick so that you guys can see that exclusive image that was also in our thumbnail. Pretty freaking lit, to be honest. It's cool to see Stellan Skarsgård here, and of course, as well as Cassian Andor himself. He does look a little bit younger, maybe, than he did in Rogue One, which is kind of cool that they're able to do that. But let's dive straight into this article without further ado and kind of explain to you guys some of what this thing is talking about here. Alright, so it starts off saying, among the swathe of news, let me turn down the music so you guys can hear me a little clearer. What up, though, everybody in the chat? I gotta pull the chat up. What up, Anthony, YouTube fan, and Just Fern, Aaron Tomato, you too as well, coming in. Oh, whoops, didn't mean to do that. Alright, hold on. Let's get this thing in the center. Boom. Okay. Among the swathe of news that came out of a Star Wars Celebration this year, we learned that Andor is going to be big. The Rogue One prequel series, telling the story of Diego Luna's Cassian Andor and the rising rebellion at the height of the Empire's power, is going to be a story that spans about 5 years in the Star Wars universe. The first 5 years of which will be explored in the 12-episode first season. So it seems like the first season of the show is really going to take place during the maybe early days of the Empire, or maybe the first year of this 5-year plan, you know what I mean? As it says here. It says the now confirmed second season will also consist of 12 episodes spanning the other 4 years. So basically, we're going to have 1 year for the first season of Andor and 4 years for the second season of Andor. It says spanning over the 4 years and leaving right off where Rogue One begins, basically. So it's going to lead all the way up into Rogue One. That's a massive 5-year story told within 24-episode tale. And speaking of Empire and the new issue, creator Tony Gilroy dug a little deeper into the structure of how the series will play out. And much love to Smalls with the $5 super chat. I appreciate it, my guy. I don't know if you put a message in there with it. I don't think you did. But if you want to put a message in with that super chat, you can ask a question, get anything you want out of that, man. I appreciate you, Smalls. You are an absolute goat, my friend. Hope you're having a great day. Thank you for the $5 super chat. So we'll continue on here. And it says, the scale of the show is so huge, Gilroy explains, speaking at Celebration after the debut of the trailer. Directors work in blocks of 3 episodes, so we did 4 blocks in season 1, which is how they get to the 12 episodes. And with 3 episodes each, that shooting schedule originally led to season 2's different structure. So basically that's why season 2 ended up having kind of the 4 years for the 12 episodes. So like 3 episodes will kind of fit into a year, it seems like, for the second season. But it even kind of goes on to say that here. It says, we looked and said, wow, it'd be really interesting if we came back and we use each block to represent a year. We'll move a year closer with each block, he says. From a narrative point of view, it's really exciting to be able to work on something where you do a Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday kind of shoot or something, and then you jump a year and the next kind of thing. It'll be interesting for them to be able to do that throughout the shooting schedule of this for the second season. It says, for all that's spanning multiple years within the Rebellion and the Empire, and with supporting characters including Genevieve O'Reilly's returning Mon Mothma and Stellan Skarsgård's brand new character, Luthen, the through line here remains Andor himself, with Luna promising a more character-focused story this time around than Rogue One, which he said Rogue One is more about an event than an actual journey of the characters, which I definitely agree with. I think I, like many fans, love Rogue One, although honestly I consider myself one of the fans that doesn't love Rogue One as much as the rest of the fandom, I guess you could say. And part of my thing with Rogue One is that it wasn't very character-driven, which, to be honest, I like my Star Wars to be pretty character-driven. And while Andor really excites me because of this character-driven thing. To me, it has the opportunity to make Rogue One be even better, which is always cool when you go back and do a prequel thing to add further impact. For me, the prequels of Star Wars, which is the era that I grew up, add even more impact to the Obi-Wan Kenobi show and, of course, stuff like the original trilogy. So I definitely see what they're going with here, and I think it's really cool that this is kind of the route they're taking, and they are making it more character driven as opposed to Rogue One, which really isn't. I mean, all the characters die by the end of the story, which he even kind of talks about here. He's, talking about how Rogue One was more of an event than actual story, or based, character driven story. It says, it's quite amazing to start where the show began, It's quite amazing to start a show where it's not really about where we can end. It's about how do we get to the end, basically. How do we get the end there? And it says, get ready because the end is nigh. The end is near. The beginning of the end is just starting for Andor, basically. So this will be a really fun story, man. That's kind of the first article. I do think there's more coming from Empire later this week, or maybe even next week. But it is super exciting stuff to me, man. Let me know what you guys thought of this article down in the chat below. And let's get back in the lair and chat it up a little bit, because I'm pretty excited, man. I'm pretty dang excited. So let's talk about it, man. What did you guys think of that article? What are you most excited to see in Andor? You guys are the absolute best. Thank you all for being here on this Tuesday afternoon. C4C, what's up, my guy? Anthony, YouTube fan, says, at Vader's Lair, hey, Sheev, regarding Andor, I'm very open-minded about it, since it seems we have at least to fear in its storytelling? The least to fear in its storytelling. Okay, so you're talking about in terms of, like, messing with canon and different characters. He says, Dave Filoni and crew better have been consulted on this Star Wars era. I definitely think they will have been, and I think, just to give you some hope with this show, Anthony, YouTube fan, I will say Tony Gilroy, who is the showrunner, also was the director for Rogue One, of course, and he definitely talked to Dave Filoni a lot about that time period, especially because my favorite show, Star Wars Rebels, was airing during that time period. So he had a lot of Rebels little tidbits and things that fit in, because Andor and the Rebellion and basically everything Rebel Alliance really does have a big thing to do with that Star Wars Rebels show. So I love that he's already kind of intertwined the two with Rogue One, and I honestly think I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some characters from Star Wars Rebels or even the Ghost Crew kind of pop up at some point throughout the show. So yeah, I definitely think Dave Filoni and crew was probably consulted, and I wouldn't be too worried about Tony Gilroy kind of being the showrunner of this. You know what I mean? I think he knows how to make a good Star Wars story. What up, talented Mr. Griffin? Good to see you in the chat, my guy. Small says Ahsoka and Andor. Gay. I mean, honestly, I didn't really think Ahsoka or Obi-Wan would pop up in Andor. Ahsoka's tough because we don't really know where she is as Fulcrum leading into Star Wars Rebels, which I feel like they definitely could do if they're going to put her in the Andor show, is kind of show some of that, like her progression into becoming Fulcrum. I know Obi-Wan wasn't really part of this question, but if I'm just speculating, you know, I feel like Obi-Wan's story is so open-ended, I wouldn't be surprised if we did see some sort of nod to him in this 5-year kind of story we are supposed to be getting with Andor. It would be dope to see Obi-Wan or Ahsoka. If we're going to see her, though, it would be dope to see her as Fulcrum, and maybe even, I don't know, with the whole World Between Worlds thing, it's interesting during this time period. But I think it's possible we could see Ahsoka. There's definitely a chance. I think there's other characters that would probably be more of a sure thing to show up than her, but it would be dope if she did. C4C says, I feel like this will be one of the best Star Wars shows. Everything from writing to cinematography, everything top tier. I'm glad they went away from Jedi, but I feel Quinlan Vos will show up. That's a cool character to bring up. I would love to see Quinlan Vos and the Path and everything. Like, I think the Path storyline that we got from Obi-Wan Kenobi could end up kind of playing a big part of what we see in Andor and different parts of the Rebel Alliance throughout this time period in future stories. Even with, you know, the Force, or not the Force Unleashed, with Jedi Fallen Order, the sequel, Jedi Survivor. Like, I feel like that could definitely tie into the Path as well. So I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Quinlan Vos show up. That'd be pretty dope, though. And as far as going away from Jedi, you know, Rogue One even had a little bit of a badass Vader moment. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do end up getting a little bit of Jedi at least in this show. It'd be cool. It'd be cool. Talented Mr. Griffin says, Yo, Sheev, have you checked out Shadows of the Sith yet? Seems to be to add some perspective to The Force Awakens. Thoughts? I think more than just The Force Awakens. I definitely have checked out Shadows of the Sith. I haven't talked about it too much here on the channel. I haven't finished the book either. But I will say, I'm probably 14, 15 chapters into the book. And it's good, man. It's really good. I've enjoyed it. I think I liked Brotherhood a little bit better so far just because I'm more attached to Obi-Wan and Anakin. But I gotta say, it's really cool to see Lando and Luke and all these different characters from that time period, and indeed get a little bit more context to the sequels at large. If I gotta be honest, I feel like while The Force Awakens, this does add some context for sure. If anything, this book is honestly making me appreciate Rise a little bit more, which I know Rise is probably the most like universally, you know, disliked, I guess you could say, or it's just a movie that sequel fans for the most part weren't really like. The people that like the Force Awakens, I don't know, it's all complicated with the sequels. It's really all complicated with the sequels, but I really like what this book adds to what we got with the sequels. I think it is a good bridge. Tim says Tony Gilroy did the reshoots for Rogue One. Some say he saved the movie. Some say he did. Tony Gilroy's great, man. He's great. Anthony YouTube fan says, I don't love Rogue One either, man. I just like it. I was disappointed that it didn't include the original story Lucas and others wrote. Plus, no Kyle Katarn and Jan Ors. I don't know if I know that character. Wanted Jin and Galen to survive. Yeah, I mean, I really liked a lot of the characters, and I think a big question people had during the time of Rogue One and Star Wars Rebels was, how are these characters going to survive to kind of be in the OT trilogy? We don't really see a lot of them. And I think with Rogue One, more so than even Star Wars Rebels, it was like, well, these characters have to die trying to get the Death Star plans, right? Like, we all kind of expected most of these people might not make it out. And it was even kind of, teased out that way, that a lot of these characters probably will die. I feel like, in a way, like, as cool as it was to see all these characters and some really cool characters, good characters, like, as much as it was story driven, they did add some really interesting characters to Rogue One, right? So it's like, I wish they had made it more character driven, but at the same time, we got a really cool story on how the Death Star plans were kind of put into place, and we got a lot of little tidbits of that time period and kind of what's going on during the time period of Rogue One, right? So that's why I'm kind of so excited for this Andor show, is because we're now getting a lot more context of this time period. And so, your guys' point, like, it is kind of a safe time period as well, where I think Gilroy is definitely consulting with a lot of the people, a lot of the writers and people on the show are really good directors and things. So I'm excited as hell to see what we get out of this Andor show, man. Eli Martin, hello there. Welcome into the chat, my friend. Sad I missed you at Celebration, man. Catch you the next time I'm in LA. Probably gonna bring my electric longboard down there to hit some of those spots. All love, homie. Hey, much love to you, Eli Martin. Thank you for that. I hope you're having a great day yourself, man. And yeah, we gotta link up in LA, dude. At anytime, feel free, hit me up in Discord. I'm a pretty busy dude, to be honest, and life is definitely crazy right now. But if you're out in LA at some point and you guys want to meet up with me, just hit us up in our Discord, which is in the link in the description below. You can also find our Twitter there, which you see right there, at Vader's Lair, and our Instagram at Sheev the Wise. And heck, if you guys can or are interested, we do have a merch store through Streamlabs that you guys can check out. And then if you have the money or want to throw up a question with Superchat or a donation on our Streamlabs channel, I really do appreciate it. Don't feel like you have to, though. Thank you guys. Barb's Basement. It's funny. I'm rewatching Stranger Things, and Barb's Basement's kind of funny to me. Barb's Basement says, I try desperately to care about this show, but there is no hype for me. Would be hyped for a Voss show. That would be freaking cool, man. A Voss show would be cool. And I can honestly see how some fans might not be hyped for the Andor show, because we really don't know too much about it, and it's about a character that we know is going to die. But I promise you, my friend, this show might be really good. Something I've kind of seen some complaints about there around the internet, and kind of that, in a way, I have my own complaints about, is the 6-episode format that Disney Plus has been doing so far for a lot of their shows. I know Book of Boba Fett's like 7, or The Mandalorian's like 8. But most of the Disney Plus shows, like Marvel and Star Wars stuff, has been about 6 episodes. I got a big issue with it. Stop it. Stop this. You can't tell not that you can't tell a fantastic story in 6 episodes, but most of these episodes are not an hour long like they are in Netflix. And Netflix doesn't even do six episodes. You know what I mean? Like the Stranger Things finale is 2 hours and 20 minutes, man. And it was an epic movie. It was an epic movie. Stranger Things was great. I love Stranger Things season 4. But that's what I'm saying, though, is like these 6-episode things that we got going on Disney Plus right now, I think they gotta kill that. And that's another reason I'm so excited for the Andor show, because this is 12 episodes that are about 45 minutes, maybe an hour in length for some of them. We'll see. But 45 minutes is what we can expect for 12 episodes. That's what we should get, man. Double the content right there. And I think if they do this with some more shows in the future, just please Disney Plus, stop with these 6-episode seasons. Give us 8 at the least, like Mandalorian. And if you're gonna give us 6, I'm gonna slap you silly. Taunton Mr. Griffin says Ochi or best dude. Ochi is the best addition to Star Wars in a long time, says Barb's Basement. There's a big love for Ochi of Bestune that I see online, and it's just hilarious to me. I really like him. It's funny how I don't know, like prideful. Like Ochi has a huge ego, and I think it's hilarious, man. I mean, the dude's been a bounty hunter since the age of the Clone Wars, and he's like, yeah, I was the best bounty hunter in the Clone Wars. I'm like, get out of here, Ochi. Small says the red long sleeve Vader's Lair shirt is a real head turner. I get mad compliments. Hey, dude, that is what up, Smalls. I appreciate that. It's dope to see when the fans buy some merch and then to hear that y'all are getting compliments. Woo, let's go. And I will say, I am definitely proud of myself with what we did over on the Streamlabs merch, and there's probably more to come in the future. So check it out. But much love, Smalls. Eli Martin says the board goes 45 miles per hour. Ooh, 55 if you go downhill. That's what's up, my guy. Built it myself. That's what's up. It's like riding a speeder through the... I bet it's just like riding one of the Star Wars speeders even. You know, that's a cool... Like, I would love, like, hoverboards. I know that's kind of been a big, like, thing in sci-fi since, like, Marty McFly and Back to the Future and whatnot. But yeah, man, that would be dope. 55 miles per hour, that's wild. So weird lately. I've just been like, I wonder if she's streaming, and you have been. I wouldn't even say I have been. Like, I still do a stream like at least once a week, maybe twice a week. But yeah, man. I mean, I've been going through it lately, so we're streaming today. I'll say that much. I'm trying to keep up with the streams. Definitely got some more coming through this week, and I'm gonna try and get as much content throughout the next 2 months at least, leading into Andor as I can out to you guys, because I'm super hyped for it, man. So definitely check it out. We're playing through The Force Unleashed currently. I'm probably gonna start playing some Lego Star Wars again to finish that game up. We got a lot of fun stuff that we're doing, just kicking back when we're not covering the news and whatnot. So appreciate that. Appreciate you. Much love, Ashhammer. Hope you're doing well, brother. What up, Matthew Cruz? It's good to see you as always, my friend. Welcome into the chat. Barb's Basement says that's why I Luke him. Loach him? Loach Opie? Ochi? You Lochi Opie? Ochi? I can't even say it. Ochi's great, man. Ochi is a complete idiot, and Vader and Palpatine seem to just like the guy. That really... Barb's Basement, you kind of summed it up perfect, and I get, like, it's kind of fun. He's kind of a fun character. The Matt Cave says, if Andor rides a hoverboard, I'm alright with that. I'm alright with that, too. That'd be kind of cool. I think, honestly, the show is probably going to start up with Andor kind of as a kid, like we see in the trailers. That would be dope if we... I mean, imagine he's just like Ezra riding like a street rat with a hoverboard. Ooh, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Ashhammer says, hey, bro. I know how it goes, though. Oh, much love, my brother. Shout out to you. Hey, Ashton, you ever need to reach out to somebody, hit me up on Discord, my brother. You know I got you. Dawn says, aren't you thinking about Barb's swimming pool? Yeah, man. I rewatched season 1 the other day of Stranger Things, and oh yeah, Barb's swimming pool. It's not even Barb's swimming pool, but I mean, it's known as Barb's swimming pool now. C4C says, hoping we get a lot of Death Trooper action in this series because they've been really dumbing down the normal Imperial Stormtroopers with every new show / movies. I kind of agree with you, man. C4C, I love that. I kind of hope that we get some vicious Empire in this show, you know? I mean, it's one thing for the, you know, throughout the original trilogy for the Stormtroopers to kind of be like, you know, not the best shot and all these things, even though Obi-Wan's like, you know, no one has more precise aim than a Stormtrooper. Nah, but I would love to see some, like, you know, some evil Imperials in this. Some Death Trooper action is definitely needed. I mean, heck, it'd be dope to see some Inquisitor stuff. They should be around during this time still. Inquisitors, since we even saw them in Kenobi, and then trying to think of the other trooper that's with the Inquisitors. Why can't I think of it? Not Death Troopers, but the other ones. Purge Troopers. Purge Troopers would be dope if we saw them. I mean, we did just see them in Obi-Wan and everything. It makes sense, man. I think Obi-Wan's going to take place a few years before this show even, so who knows how much they can even tie together, really, like I was speculating earlier, but I think it's possible. I think it's possible. Thank you, the Stanleys. Purge Troopers, yeah. It's Leave. You sound like a damn fool when you say it wrong. Eli Martin says, I hope we get an early live action Ghost Crew. Dude, me flipping to Eli Martin. I've been talking with Star Wars Meg, and she's like the one person that I know that knows some stuff about Andor. And she won't give it to me, which I'm happy for her not to. Like, please don't, Meg, because I want to be surprised with this show. But she's making it out to be this huge freaking show, this big thing. And, like, I don't know what she knows, but if they did the Ghost Crew early, whether it is in the first season or even the second season, I'm all for that. And it makes a ton of sense, man. Harrison Dula. I mean, obviously, we probably wouldn't see Ezra during this time period. Maybe the end, but I kind of doubt that even. Like, there's probably some Rebel stories that we don't know out there for sure. But I don't think Ezra would be in. We'd probably get Hera, maybe Sabine, maybe, or probably Kanan. It would probably be Hera and Kanan mainly if we got the Ghost Crew. And maybe Zeb and Chopper, of course. That'd be dope. Hawks Holocron, it's good to see you in the chat, my guy. Much love. It is huge. They have 200 named cast members. Like, what the hell? It's a lot. It's a lot. You're right, Hawks Holocron. And I love the tidbits that we've gotten in the trailers and whatnot. It's dope. Meg knows something? Of course. Of course. She the dark side of the Force, it's a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural. So, Meg definitely knows things that she probably should. Hold on. I'm going to check through Discord just to get a little recap of all the Star Wars news, because there's been a lot lately. There's an interesting Bespin Bulletin article that came out from talking about some Natasha Liu Bordizu. Actually, that was from the Direct. Okay, there's a few other things though. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk to you guys about was an interview with Taika Waititi talking about his Star Wars movie that is supposedly coming in 2023, probably in 2024 at this point. But basically, throughout the interview, there's a part where Taika says that he's talking with Natalie Portman, who of course we all know she's the GOAT. And she is going to be a badass female Thor in the upcoming Thor Love and Thunder movie. I'm saying it. I can't wait to see Natalie back on the screen. But of course, she is our Padme Amidala. And he talked about how he had a conversation with her while doing Thor Love and Thunder. And Natalie said to him, what do you do next? Or what are you doing next? Kind of a thing. And he said, I'm trying to work on a Star Wars thing. You ever wanted to be in Star Wars? And she said, I've been in Star Wars movies. He's like, oh yeah. I forgot about those ones. I thought it was a really funny little tidbit to share with you guys. Nothing to bring up for it, but it's funny, right? You know what I mean? Like, I would love to have Natalie Portman back. I don't know how much she wants to be back in Star Wars right now. But it would be dope to get some Padme scenes and certain stuff. You know what I mean? But, like, come on, Taika, you can do it. Do it. I bet Roken is an Andor, says Ashton. I love that. That's great. So with Jason Ward's leaks of the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, and I don't know how much of a spoiler this would even be. It's really not, because we've all seen Obi-Wan. But at some point, he had heard that Roken was actually going to be kind of a counterpart to Saw Gerrera, who's definitely a big part of the Rebel Alliance or rebellion in a way. Although he has his own kind of section or faction of rebellion that's like a little extreme, right? And so with Saw Gerrera being kind of a counterpart to Roken, I definitely think it's possible we could see Roken a lot more in the Andor show. And the fact that we never even really had a mention of him kind of being attached to Saw Gerrera in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, maybe he won't be, but I think it's very, very possible that both the Path and Roken are going to be very prevalent in the Andor show in some way, potentially. Wade will be in Andor, says OG. Unfortunately, I think Andor is going to take place a few years after Wade's death. But Wade's the GOAT, man. They got to bring him back. Even as a Force ghost, he'll definitely probably be in Andor. Come on. Come on. That'd be lit. That would be lit. What other news can we share with you guys? Alright. Could this have been scrapped? Blah, 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 blah. Alright, so there was a few things on Mandalorian and whatnot. Let me find this direct article. And I can pull this up for you guys so we can share it. Alright, so this direct article says Star Wars Ahsoka actress teases high stakes of Disney Plus spin-off series. Let's check it out. I want to check this out with you guys. If I even can. One moment. My bad, guys. Alright, here we go. Alright. Star Wars Ahsoka actress teases high stakes of Disney Plus spin-off. Here, let's move this center. Make this a little more. Come on, work computer. Stop glitching out. No. Alright. Boom. Ahsoka Tano has been an integral part of Star Wars canon since her first debut back in 2008. However, it took her over 11 years to actually make it into the live action projects. In this case, it was none other than The Mandalorian. Her arrival on the scene was so popular that the character very quickly got her own series greenlit by Lucasfilm. Sadly, that particular Disney Plus series is quite a ways off, but it hasn't kept people, from being excited. Hasn't kept people from being excited about it at all. I'm freaking hyped for the Ahsoka show whenever it comes out. That's probably my most anticipated Star Wars project coming. It says, at the recent Star Wars celebration, Ahsoka showrunner Dave Filoni revealed that alongside Rosario Dawson's titular character, some other fan favorite characters would be rejoining the show and basically going along for the ride. Sabine Wren, Harrison Dula, and Chopper were all confirmed to be in the show, just to name a few. Plot details are thin at the moment, but the story seems to be both a continuation from where Ahsoka was last seen in the Book of Boba Fett and the animated show Star Wars Rebels. Of course. It says, with the show's production now in full swing, an interview with its cast members has teased the high stakes on the line for Ahsoka and the rest of her company. Oh my goodness. Disney Plus's Ahsoka raises the stakes. So let's get straight into it. In an interview with Empire Magazine, Ahsoka actress Rosario Dawson and Natasha Liu Bordizzo commented on what fans can expect to see in the upcoming Disney Plus series. Dawson, the woman behind Ahsoka Tano herself, noted how in her 2 live-action appearances, fans haven't got much of her character, and that even fans who lived with her for so long don't know where she's at now in this journey. It's kind of up in the air. We don't really know what's quite going on with her, right? We have a few ideas from the whole Thrawn thing, but other than that, she's going off to look for Ezra, it seems, and we really don't know what else she's been up to. Dave and John are continuing Star Wars in a way where it can be standalone, but it also makes you hungry for more. There have been 2 instances where Ahsoka shows up on a mission, and you see her interacting with folks, but you don't really get her, per se. And this is from Rosario Dawson. Even fans who lived with her for so long don't know where she's at now in this journey. Bordizzo, who's going to be playing the Mandalorian Sabine Wren, added how her character is so fearless and brave, while also teasing very high stakes in play. Sabine is so fearless and brave and has so much grace, but she still has flaws. She's not perfect. She's on her journey, she's making mistakes, and it's very high stakes in this galactic war to make mistakes. For those who are worried that they may be missing out on what they haven't seen in Star Wars Rebels, don't fret. Bordizzo assured they've got a standalone chapter as it is. Interesting. So it seems like there's probably going to be at least an episode kind of more centered on Sabine, which would be freaking dope to me. I love the Sabine character. I don't know about you guys, but it says a lot of people have not seen Rebels. It's great for them to have seen it, but we've got a standalone chapter as it is. And Ahsoka cannot arrive soon enough, this part says, and it really can't. I mean, come on, Ahsoka, hurry up already. It says the last time fans saw Sabine was at the end of Star Wars Rebels, where she was going off with Ahsoka on some unknown reason. Okay, we know why. It says while she wasn't seen when Rosario Dawson's former Jedi appeared on The Mandalorian, one would have to assume they already started whatever mission they were on. They might not have. They might not have, to be honest. Come on, Direct. It says the only further hint given to the viewers about what the two are up to has to do with the big name drop Ahsoka made in her live-action debut, Grand Admiral Thrawn. The last time the villain was seen, Ezra Bridger had just hypersped both of them away to an unknown location. What could they be up to? And what possibly could be around the corners for a specific call-out of the show's high stakes, which could imply the consequences on a galactic level. Whatever it is, it feels almost certain that will have to be heavily linked to whatever happened to both Ezra and Thrawn. Let's go! I really cannot wait for this Ahsoka show. Like I said, man. Oh, it's not even up. You guys can't even see the article. That's all good. Wax sauce. Wade is definitely dead, Ashton. He's definitely dead. But I'm hyped for the Ahsoka show. Let me know what you guys thought of that article from the Direct. Super cool to get a little bit of tidbits out there from Natasha Liu Bordizzo, as we do know she's going to be playing Sabine Wren. And I can't wait to see her and, of course, Rosario Dawson back in the Ahsoka show. It's going to be lit. It's going to be hype. Barb's Basement said, just had to swing in and say hi, but I got to get back to some editing. Much love. Hey, hope that editing goes well. I know how the grind is. Send in love, Barb's Basement. Have a great rest of your night. Thanks for being here. Anthony, YouTube fan, says, Sheev, honestly, I'm expecting the theatrical culmination of the Mandalorian saga coming out in theaters before these seemingly phantom movie projects that Kennedy keeps teasing. You might be right. No, I definitely feel you. There's a little bit of fatigue from the fans of this constant, naming movies and projects and then kind of canceling them or putting them on the back burners. Like, stick to a project, man. Let's get it going. Wade says, Pong Crawl says, my profile picture is Wade. The Wade's taking over. Wade's a great character, man. Wade is a fantastic character. Alright. That's kind of the main updates that we got, though, today. I hope you guys have had a good time. If there's any questions that you want to put into the chat, any super chats that you want to put up into the questions, feel free to put them into there. Anything you guys want to hit us up about? Heck, we could even dive into the Andor rumors out there if you guys really, really want to. But I wasn't planning on it, so that's up to you guys. It's up to the chaos of the chat. How are we doing today, though? Are we feeling good? How's people liking Miss Marvel? I think it's pretty good. I think it's a pretty good show so far. It's interesting. What do we want to see most in Andor, to be honest? Like, after Obi-Wan, I didn't really think that we would get Palpatine. I think we could still. I think the thing I want to see the most in Andor is my theory. Which, I have this theory that the mid-season finale, I guess you could say, the 6th episode of Andor is dropping the same night as the first episode of the Bad Batch, presumably. And if they do that, man, and the two shows run congruently, which has never happened with Star Wars. There's never been two projects coming out on the same night. How freaking cool would that be? One live action, one in animation. And, I mean, who knows, man? The time periods could even link up. What if we get two stories that are kind of coincided? Whether it's like, a story of young Andor and, some clones or different things during the time period that kind of coincide with what we see in the Bad Batch. Maybe the two shows could even intertwine in a way, bringing live action and animation together in Star Wars like they never have been before. That's what I want to see, man. I mean, that's extremely hopeful. Don't get me wrong. But let me know what you guys are interested in seeing in the chat, too, because I'm hyped for it, man. They should just do it. They should just do it. Pong Crawl, it's good to see you in the chat, by the way. Is that thing on? The Stanley says, in Andor trailer we see the Senate, and I'm pretty sure Palps is there. Well, Palps is the Senate after all. I think that would make sense. I mean, we even get a scene in the Bad Batch trailer where we do see Palpatine in the middle of the Senate. What if those two scenes are the same scene? Just saying. Just putting it out there. That'd be really cool, though. And I do want to see Palps really bad in the Andor show. That's one of the characters I think has to be in the Andor show at some point. Other than that, I mean, Director Krennic, Darth Vader would be really freaking cool to see. Some of the Rebellion, like Ahsoka, would even be cool. Leia, we could see young Leia. I mean, Vivian Lyra Blair did a fantastic job. It would be really cool to see her again somehow in the Andor show. And of course, Bail Organa is very, very relevant in terms of what we see with the Rebellion and everything. So, I mean, Mon Mothma seems like she's going to be a very, very important character to the show, which I'm all about. I'd love to learn more about Mon Mothma. So, heck yeah, man. Sozu Sozin, how's it going with y'all? How's it going with you, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you in the chat. What else do we got going on? I should check the news one more time. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Anything you guys want to recap or any questions you have, feel free to put them in the chat or into a super chat. Really helps out the channel. Make sure to smash the like button if you guys haven't already. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll stop bothering you guys. There's been some really cool behind the scenes videos lately of the Obi-Wan show showing stunt double Tom O'Connell and Obi-Wan Kenobi, of course, Ewan McGregor, doing some pretty cool stunts. There's a video of Ewan kind of pushing Darth Vader about like 20 feet. And it was dope to see. You can obviously see some of the limitations with the volume and everything, but it's cool to see how they make these. And an awesome little behind the scenes video that we saw. There was like all over Twitter after the show had come out. And how are we feeling about Obi-Wan Kenobi a few weeks after the finale, man? I mean, there was a lot of little things coming out about original scripts and different things. I will say there was a Star Wars Newsnet ran an article on how basically the writer of the Obi-Wan Kenobi movie had done all this stuff, and Commander Cody was going to play a role in his script, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that came out, and we haven't really covered it yet. We might do that in a future video or stream. We'll see. But it's interesting stuff, man. It's cool to see where they took that script for the movie and kind of made it into a show and changed it up a tiny bit here and there. Talented Mr. Griffin says, what do you think of The Boys? What do you expect to see in the finale? So, I mean, there's been a lot of content out lately, which is kind of cool for a nerd like myself. I've really been digging back into Stranger Things, and I finished season 4. I was recently watching Handmaid's Tale, actually, with my girlfriend. I've been watching a lot of shows lately, and Boys is one of the ones on our list. Unfortunately, we went to Umbrella Academy because that came out recently as well. So I've been watching all this stuff. The Boys, I saw the first like 3 episodes so far this season, and then I watched a little bit of Herogasm. And I freaking love The Boys, man. The Boys is fun. It's definitely extreme, a little hardcore. But The Boys is fun, man. I'm excited to see what the finale brings. I am keeping up loosely with what's going on in it, but I'm excited for it, man. I'm excited to get back into the show after I finish watching a few other things with my girlfriend. Yo, Ponkrell says the Cody part would have been incredible if they incorporated it into the series and they executed it well. Yeah, they definitely could have. It could have added some extra impact, indeed. I agree with you 100%, Ponkrell. I mean, we all know you don't like the clones as much, but I love them, man. I love them. It would have been dope to see Cody, but I think the fact that Cody is likely going to be pretty important in the Bad Batch, and maybe we'll even see a story kind of going with him. I don't know. I think that's why they changed it up. I think that's why he wasn't in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. There's another story to tell with Cody. And that's always kind of how I've felt about it, is there's probably another story to tell with Rex, who's probably even closer to Cody than Obi-Wan may have ever been. The talented Mr. Griffin says, I think Reva's original plotline was better than what we got. That remains to be seen, in my opinion. I know a lot of people like the original kind of thing a little bit better. It seems that way, at least to me. If I gotta be honest, though, I'm excited to see what they could potentially do with her character in the future. Heck, maybe she'll pop up in Andor. But I don't know, man. I I think there's more to see with her character, and that's why I say that remains to be seen, in my opinion. Don Clutterman says, Tem was busy on Andor. Maybe he was. I don't know. I mean, should we get into some spoiler stuff? You guys let me know in the chat. Do you want to get a little Andor potential spoiler? Let me know. He could have been busy on Andor, I'll tell you that much. It's a possibility. I would love to see Tem in Andor, to be honest. I mean, there's a whole countless number of characters he could be, including Cody. I mean, he's even recently said that he would love to play Rex and Cody in live action, so do it, I say. I would love to see him as Rex in the Ahsoka show. I would love to see him as Cody or maybe other clones in the Andor show. Just do it. Do it. Yes, please, says Ponkrell. Do it. That's all I'm saying. Alright, fine. We'll do it. Alright, so I had this sent to me from, I think, Star Wars Mag at like 4 a.m. this morning. And it's nothing from her. Don't blame this on Star Wars Mag if it's wrong. But it was from something on, I believe, Reddit. So take this with a grain of salt. The smallest little grain of salt. It probably isn't even true. It could be, though. It's a little outlandish, and that's why I'm down to bring it up to you guys, because I don't know if it's a spoiler yet. It has some interesting stuff. So 2 big Andor tidbits I'm at liberty to spoil, says this person on Twitter, or on Reddit or something. It's like a throwaway account. Again, this could be fake. Says Stellan's character Luthen, which we got in the article, the name of his character, is an ISB agent that is infiltrating the rebellion. They killed Luthen on an ISB. Sorry, this again. I think I don't know if I said it or not. Potential spoilers. Potential spoilers here. If you don't want to know anything for the Andor show, might want to head out of here. But so it says they killed Luthen, the original Luthen, and an Imperial ISB agent is mimicking him, or basically acting like he is Luthen. It says this was done via plastic surgery. Another actor plays the actual ISB agent. And of course, they could just have Stellan Skarsgård play the 2 characters. But basically what this is saying is that the Luthen character that we're going to see in the show is going to be basically someone who, similarly to Obi-Wan Kenobi and the Clone Wars, this probably doesn't even make sense. There's an arc in the Clone Wars where Obi-Wan has to pretend he's a bounty hunter or go into hiding as a bounty hunter. And he basically has this facial reconstruction done to make himself look like the bounty hunter. He gets even this voice module thing to make him sound like him. And there's this whole arc where Obi-Wan is really Reiko Hardit. And it's possible this could basically be in the Andor show a little bit, taking some tidbits from Clone Wars and having Stellan Skarsgård's Luthen character be an ISB agent that has had facial reconstruction done to look like the Luthen character after he's potentially killed. Goes on here to say that there is a 2-part conspiracy political thriller episode following just Mon Mothma, which kind of makes sense to me, at least, if this is true and everything. It takes place over the course of one long night on Coruscant. Mon Mothma is at a Senate party, quote unquote, navigating slimy Imperial admirals and senators, of course. She's trying to suss out who could become an ally, all while avoiding prying Imperial eyes. Palpatine greets the party at some point via hologram, and his appearance looks like it did before the scars, as he apologizes for not being able to attend, as he never is able to, of course. It's all kind of the propaganda of the Empire, right? It says fan favorite Yularen is also there, which is really cool. This would be awesome to see Admiral Yularen. For those who don't remember, Admiral Yularen is the dude played by Tom Kane's voice in the Clone Wars, the dude that kind of walks and goes around with Anakin and whatnot. He's wearing kind of the Imperial clothes, and he also is the dude that kind of recaps every episode of the Clone Wars at the beginning, war, and does that little kind of intro. So it'd be dope as hell to see Yularen. He's very prominent in Rebels as well, and he's very prominent even in the Thrawn books. So it'd be dope to see Admiral Yularen. I think it makes a lot of sense if he is in it. You know, this could be a potential spoiler, like I said. So if it's true, I'm definitely excited to see Yularen. It would be even dope if they made Tom Kane him, and obviously Tom Kane had a stroke not too long ago, so he actually isn't able to do any voice acting now, but maybe Yularen could even be in the background and have Tom Kane playing him in live action. I think that would be a really cool thing for them to do. It goes on though to say that Yularen is there. He shares a drink overlooking the Coruscant skyline with Mon Mothma, and he hints to her that he misses the Republic and Jedi, but obviously it's not the time or place to state his true opinions out loud. But the real joy of the episode is a clone everyone might know. It says Thyre. I don't know Thyre. I feel like I know the clones pretty well, but I've never heard of a Thyre. Maybe it's a code name. But it says Thyre is no longer on active duty in the main Imperial police on Coruscant. The clones have been mostly phased out at this point, and he's a bit older. But his policing experience made the Imperials keep him around as a security instructor, and he oversees event security with younger normal recruits. He's been assigned to oversee the security of the Senate party, which takes place in a high-rise luxury building. The party is interrupted when unknown assassins kill 2 senators that Mon Mothma was grooming for the rebellion. The rest of the episodes, we see Commander Thyre on the run protecting Mon Mothma from these assassins across various locales on Coruscant. You'll see the chase like the speeder chase in episode 2. I imagine that's going to be the one with the changeling. I forget her name at the moment. Zam Wesell. I think it'll be somewhat like that, with Obi-Wan and Anakin kind of chasing her throughout the streets of Coruscant. That'd be really cool to see, in my opinion. But yeah, it says that the two are he's going to be protecting Mon Mothma. They're going to be running through that. And it says that Thyre and Mothma are going to have apparently really great and funny chemistry. It's very much a Star Wars take on The Bodyguard, minus the romance. But switch Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston with Genevieve O'Reilly and Tamara Morrison. These 2 episodes will be an absolute highlight of the show. Everyone kills it in it, and it was just filmed at, this was all filmed in Pinewood. So let's take it back and kind of pause here, because that is the end of the little tidbit they gave there. Again, let's take this all with a grain of salt. A lot of it sounds like it really could be true, and if it is, that's exciting stuff, to be honest. I think it'll be a really fun couple of episodes, kind of focusing in on Mon Mothma and getting Tamara Morrison back as a clone, like you guys were talking about in the chat. To me, that's just something so cool to see, and the fact that they can continually do that while Tamara Morrison is, acting and around and everything. It's dope. But I think this could be really fun to see. I don't know how much it's going to play into the Andor story. I'm kind of curious how that could, where's Andor going to be during this? Kind of why, I'm cool with Mon Mothma centric episodes if the whole thing is not just kind of centered around Andor, but I don't know. It's kind of interesting to me. Let me know what you guys think, though. Do you think these could be legit? Are you excited for it? Do you think that's cool? What's we saying in the chat? Baron Harkonnen strikes again. He's a faceless man from Game of Thrones. Oh, are you talking about... Stellan Skarsgård? No, wait. You're talking about the Baron before. Thrawn's right-hand man? Are you talking about Eli Vanto? Faceless man from Game of Thrones? I don't know. Paul Krell says, I looked Thyre up. He's a Coruscant guard? Interesting. That's kind of what they were hinting at in those leaks, so maybe. Darth Chaos, what's up, my guy? I hope you're doing well. Played by Morrison, of course. Dune, yes. Stellan Skarsgård is beast. Trust me, I love Stellan Skarsgård. Baron Harkonnen strikes again. That's interesting. I gotta look up Thyre now. I wonder if he's a Legends character more, or I wonder what he would have been in. I don't know Thyre too well, so I gotta educate myself just a little bit. Alright, y'all. Feel free to put any last questions into the chat. I think we're gonna get out of here pretty soon. We've been going for almost an hour, so Any last questions, anything that you want to ask me about Andor or the upcoming slate of Star Wars, feel free to put it in the chat. Make sure to go check out our Discord like we talked about earlier. Tim put a chat link to it in the chat a little bit ago. Shout out to you, my guy Tim, the absolute GOAT. And of course it is in the description in the link below as well. So if you want to check out our Discord or our Twitter or our Instagram, you can go check out down there. And of course, as well as our Streamlabs and like merch and everything. So you guys can go check that out in the link in the description below. Yes, Skarsgård is a fantastic actor, and that's kind of why I believe these potential leaks could be true. I know you kind of just hopped into the chat chaos, but we did kind of go over some potential spoilers, some rumors that have been going around for Andor. So if you want to know about that, go ahead, rewind. But Skarsgård's character could be pretty interesting, and if it is kind of what the leaks are saying, he would be the actor to pull that performance off. I would be excited to see that. Yularen was Thrawn's right hand in the EU. That's interesting. Okay. I know Eli. So I've read through the Thrawn canon books, and they're fantastic, man. I love them. Yularen definitely is interested and, like, you know, takes a liking to Thrawn. So it's cool to see that. Vanto seems to be kind of the right hand of Thrawn in canon, at least. So we'll see if Eli Vanto or Yularen could even play a role with Thrawn in the future of Star Wars and everything. But seeing Yularen as kind of the leaders of ISB and knowing that ISB could be very, very, prevalent in this show, it would be dope to see Yularen, man. It would make a lot of sense. It would be cool. I mean, heck, maybe Yularen even leads into Thrawn being in the show, which is another thing I would love to see in Andor. If they put Thrawn in there, that would just be a beautiful little tidbit for me and all the Thrawn fans out there. You know what I mean? It would be great. Tim B's the baddest of the bad man. You said it, Smalls. Hey, OG, you have a great rest of your night too, my friend. Thank you for hanging out in the chat. And with that note, I think we're going to get on out of here. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Thank you for learning up on the Andor show with us through this Empire article. I hope you guys enjoyed the little bit of tidbits that we got. Even a little spoilery part for those of you guys that stuck around for that. Thank you guys, though, for hanging out with us tonight. I hope you have a great one. Catch us in the Discord or on our Twitter or Instagram. As you can see down there, you can find it. And also in the link in the description below. So go check it out. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night, though. And may the Force be with you guys always. Peace out.